Good morning. Today I'm going to make a couple more artist trading cards for you, with you. I've prepped a little bit so that the video won't be very long because I plan to make several of these videos, so they can't all be an hour long, I realize. But I thought you might like to see different variations of my artist trading cards. And I'm not making very many of any one style or design, except that I do a lot of dragonflies, so you'll notice that. But I did try a couple of new styles a couple nights ago, and I'll show you those soon. But I wanted to show you these ones with the purple and lace background, and I've started to use a different ink color, the archival ink in Hickory Smoke. It came as a set of 4 inks that I got on Amazon, and I didn't think I would use the gray. But when I got working with these prettier backgrounds with the white doilies and the colors, distressing them with the brown, it's okay, but it seemed like I was dirtying them up more than I wanted to, because they're so pretty and they have the purple background. I mean, it does look okay, but when I tried it with the gray, it just sort of suited it better in my mind, at least today. So I've gone ahead and antiqued this one so it wouldn't take so long on the video. And this one isn't done, so I'll go ahead and do it. And this is an older dauber that I think it was my mom's, and it has a very I think it's just a felt pad that you put under chairs. I don't think it's one that is meant for inking, so it's a little stiffer. You can kind of hear that when I use it. But I just like the way that looks kind of smoky, but not dirty, like brown. And it's able to still camouflage, like there was a little white speck there. It's camouflaged that quite well. I was surprised when I tried it that I liked it as much as I do, because I know gray has been very popular. Like, I sell kitchens and gray is all the rage in home decor and stuff, but I really didn't think that I would use it much. So I've got my components that I want to use laid out here and inked, so that so it doesn't take so long for us. And what I'm going to do first is this little section of a die cut. And this was a white one, you see on the back side, completely white. And I've taken that Hickory Smoke, sorry. And actually I did this on my glue page, but I wanted to start a new page where it's like a collage of inking stuff. I did that with the beiges when I was doing some dragonflies and some more of these the other day. So I thought I would start this page and show you, because I wanted to darken this up a little bit more. And what I used for that, instead of using this, is my, I think this is a makeup brush that I picked up at a thrift store for the intention of doing this with it, because it's very soft. And it doesn't, even on this very, very delicate piece, it doesn't rip it or pull it too much. So this is giving me a nice gray color that will show up against the white and purple, I think. And it's giving me a good start to my gray collage sheet. So that's how I did these. And so I think I'm going to start with putting those on, and I'm still trying to train myself to use these tweezers. You can't really use glue stick on these because it just gets such a mess. So what I've been doing is just going around with my little tiny needle tip and the 3-in-1 glue. It takes such a small amount to stick it down. I get any of the big spots that'll take glue, and then a little bit on the edges of the Anything that might peel up, I make sure I catch it, like this little tip here. And I have to put my glasses up on my forehead to do this. And then I have to pop them back down to place it where I want. Well, I could probably place it where I want, but I do pop it down so I can really see what I'm doing. And I usually put this in a corner, this sort of a quarter circle element, like that. And I still do kind of wish it would show up a little bit more, but I think in the end, when the collage is done, it still adds something to it. And then I've got this black dragonfly, which was a die cut that I just cut in half so that I could use half on each card. And I got these in a swap recently. So if that person, I'm sorry that I don't remember which swap at the moment, but if that person is watching, hit me up for another swap because I love your die cuts. I'll even send you some paper if you want to make them with. But black ones are surprisingly useful. Of course, everyone wants a dragonfly in a pretty color, but for what I'm doing with them, putting them on a colorful background, the black is really striking. And I've used some foil ones too that she did. And then I just have a few seconds to be able to push that as close to the edge as I want it before it's too stuck down to move. And that stuff just grabs really good. And this little die cut I also got in a swap, and I cut it up into two pieces and made it nice and smooth and inked the edges so that I can use one on each of these. Might go this way with it. Or this way, yeah, that way. As soon as I see it, I know. And then I'm not sure about this pink stamp. I think I might want, I had a purple one picked out for this, and I think now that I'm seeing it through the point of no return eyes, I want a purple one. Or there's a little gray one here, a grayish one. Maybe that would work. Yeah, that will work. I do like, I only have so many purple ones because I'm using them. It seems like I'm using them all up first. And these are printables. They're nice and small is what I really like about them. For this, I have a lot of, oh, there's one. I have a lot of postage stamps now from swaps, but they're a bit big for this. Sometimes, not always. I have used some larger ones of these and it has worked for me. I think what I'm going to do here is not take the circle part of the postage cancellation mark, but just take that wavy part, and just so that this gets squared up. And again, not that it has to be squared up. It's supposed to look like it's torn off of an envelope, so it can be cattywampus. But I don't want my collage to look that messy. I want it to look a little bit more, I guess, refined or tidy, if a collage can be tidy. Yeah, I think that one will work the best. So that's how I ink those. And then for these, what I have been doing, instead of using a lot of the 3-in-1, is putting glue stick on the back and then just doing around the edge with the 3-in-1, just so that it sticks down and stays down. Sticks down with the glue stick and then stays down with the 3-in-1. So I'm going to put that upright above the dragonfly. And I like to space that sort of equal distance off of each edge of the card. And I'll go ahead and do the same thing with this guy. And then I'm not sure if I want another element on here. And some of them I've put a little sentiment, but most of my sentiments are a little too large. trying not to get my fingers so gluey. I end up having to wash my hands several times a day if I'm crafting all day, which is not a horrible thing anyway, but just trying to not have to do it as often. Oh, how did I have that? This way. And I just like the way it kind of goes in where the wings are separated there, and I like the way it overlaps. Sorry, I don't know if you could see that. I like the way it comes in here where the wings are, and the way it overlaps the circle. Flower of Life, I think that is called. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other one and then see if I need to add any other little thing. And I still have this little dish going. You'll see if you watch some of my collaging videos that what I usually do when I sit down to just collage is I will start off doing like a background collage with some strips of paper or some chunks of paper like this. And then once I've got a board of that done, then there will be scraps from that, and I'll do a collage with smaller pieces on a smaller, usually on a smaller tag or leftover piece of cardstock or something. And then when that collage is done, I'll do even smaller pieces on a tinier card. And so it just keeps trying to use all these up. And then these are actually small enough. They could just go in my paper making thing, but I just had an idea to do like a micro collage with them. So that's why I've started saving them. So when I do that, I will definitely bring you along for the ride. Like that one may be too small. That could probably just go in the paper bucket. I'm not hardly even going to be able to get glue on it. So here I'm going to do pretty much the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and darken this up again. The thing I like about this rectangular dauber is that it sits completely over top of my ink, so I don't have to keep putting my lid off and on while I'm working with it. I do at the end of the crafting session, but I like that it kind of covers it up and prevents it from drying out on me. So just do this gluing. That's the thing I can't do ahead of time. I think I need to hold this up here further. It's wobbly. These things are so delicate and thin. These are from Temu. You can get a lot of them for a small amount of money. And then if you're cutting them up, you get even more bang for your buck. Don't always need the whole thing when you're collaging on a small thing, especially. If you were doing a masterboard, you could just leave it whole and then you might end up cutting through it, but good little glob on that tip and on the tips of these little ends. It's getting a little gloopy on me. But this stuff holds surprisingly well. I know I've said that before. It's almost instant. And then I think I'll go this way so that that overlaps just a touch. And my postage stamp, this one's got the circle as well, but there's room for it here, I think. And then this thing can go somewhere like here. Yeah. I'm the type that even if I pre-planned it exactly to the exact location, once it's being done, I can change my mind in a heartbeat. It's just the way I am. Just might come up with a better idea or just want to try something. I find that the more you try things that you think you aren't going to like, you find out that you do like them. Like the gray ink, for example. So it's overlapping the postage part, and I'll maybe have the dragonfly just on top of it, on the edge of it. If anybody has any tips on using the tweezers, I would take them from you. I would welcome them if you want to put in the comments. If you see something that I'm doing that looks awkward, do let me know. There we go. And no ink required on the dragonfly, that's for sure. You wouldn't see it. I was pleasantly surprised yesterday. I took my dad to the hospital for a meeting with a doctor. And I've been making these ATCs, and I want to show him everything that I do. And sometimes I think, well, he won't be interested in that, you know, like, don't bore him with it. We were sitting waiting for the x-ray technician to come out and bring him in. I have a little pouch of them in my purse to hand out when I talk to people. And so I pulled them out of my purse and I said, Dad, I want to show you what I made this week, what I've been making this week. And I pulled them out and started flipping through them because each one's different. And I was explaining as I was doing it what they're for. He was really interested. He wanted one right away. Like, he was like, oh, can I have this one? And I said, yes, yeah, of course. But I said, there's one coming up in the pile here that I think you'll like better. And it was one with one of these and some gears and a clock or something. And I said, you might like this one better. It's a little bit more masculine and more your style that you would like. And he says, oh, yeah, I do. I'll take that one. And I thought, oh, I was so proud that he wanted one. And I showed them to an interior designer friend of mine, and she gave me a similar reaction, like she thought they were cool, which really made me feel good. So Sarah, if you're watching, thank you for admiring my art, even if you were being polite. So then the next, so I think I'm good with that. Got the same components. I don't know that it really needs anything more. I can always come back later and add something else if I come across something that I think would be just perfect. But you can spend hours, you know, looking through little, like I've got a box here that I keep at the side of my desk, which has, this is just the selection of things I think I might want to use right away. And then I've got umpteen other boxes of like this in my craft room that have like more sorted. This is sort of a little bit of everything so that I can bring it out to my desk. So if I find something that I think would be perfect on one of these, I can always add it, but I'd like to just finish them up and, you know, go on to something else. So the next thing that I do is I put my YouTube logo and my channel name on the back side of them, because that's the reason that I'm making them, is to promote my channel. So I found that when I was talking to people about my YouTube channel, which I've been trying to come out of my shell and tell people that I'm doing this, is when I would say, you know, check out my channel, and they'd say, well, what is it? And I'd say Thistledew Creations. And if they hadn't heard of me before, like I used that same name for my jewelry making Etsy shop, and my cards that my jewelry come on say Thistledew Creations. if they didn't know of Thistledew Creations before, then they give me a blank look. And I think, oh, okay, I'll jot it down for you. So I was writing it down on a Post-it note or something, and I thought, I can do better than this. I'm going to order some business cards. And then I thought, why would I order business cards when I could make artist trading cards and hand them out to people when we're talking about my channel? So that's what I'm doing, making my own business cards. For a creative, it makes sense to make your own. And each one's going to be different, even though these are very similar. They're different. And I love them. And I know that I will do many, many, many different styles of them as time goes on. If you haven't seen the other videos on them, I'll just quickly grab them and show you some of the other styles. We're at 20 minutes, so I think we have time to do a half-an-hour video. So here's one with a more beigey background with the dragonflies in blue. And again, two of them, similar but not the same. And there's another one with a watercolor dragonfly on a white music paper background, coffee dyed on the back, and that one I wrapped the wings around instead of cutting them off. There's another one like that where I didn't have to cut the wings off. And then there's one with a little bit of a clock and some hardware and, you know, a few more elements, little elements. Another one that's similar but different. I'll do a lot of bee ones, I'm sure. Natural History Collection. These are 2 new stickers. And then there's one with some pink and green. I've spent hours fussy cutting birds, so it's nice. And they're all about this size, so it's going to be nice to use some of those. And then there's the foil dragonflies I was talking about, the gears. And this is all of the background papers behind the collages are all my own printables that I don't have for sale yet, but they're things that I have collaged and then photocopied my collage to use as background paper. So there's videos on that too that you can check out on my channel. If I think about it, I will try to link them for you. And then this is the gear style that I suggested for my dad, and he took one of them. They're all a little bit different. And when I use these stickers, these are the 3D plasticky stickers from Dollar Tree, I believe it is. When I punch these out, you see the little holes in the center here? Those little dots were left behind on the sticker backing page, and some pieces around the edge too. So I've used some of those for like the center of the clocks. Some of those little dots. So try to use all the little bits and bobs. I think it makes it more interesting. There wasn't very many elements on this one. There's only 4, well, 5 with the clock, because this was a collage that already had some elements. Like there's some dragonfly wings, but that's part of the background page. Yeah, so that's the ones I have on me right now. That I've given out quite a few of them. And so that's why I'm trying to make a few every day and keep giving them out, because that's the name of the game, right? And I keep them in this little pouch that I made. I had lunch with my dad one day after another doctor's appointment, and we went to A&W, and I was saving the bag that my hamburger or something came in. And he's looking at me, of course, as people do, looking at me strange, like, why are you putting that in your purse? I said, I'm going to make a duplicate. I'm going to use this to make a pattern to make myself little pouches. And so I did, and there's a whole video on that. So again, if I can think of it, I will link that for you in the description box. But if I don't link it, then either give me a nudge or just check out my playlists. Crafting with Judy, we'll have it on there. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Subscribing is free. And I would be glad to have you as part of the Thistledew Creations family. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.